truth is buried under layers of silence for security reasons, therefore insecurity. We are broadcasting from an undisclosed location. This is Akashic Echoes, a curiosity-fueled dive into the strange, the hidden, and the wait, what? Corners of human history, where Alex asks the questions others won't. Dr. X opens doors you didn't know existed, and Titus keeps things just grounded enough to follow the thread. It's part investigation, part storytelling, and part late night. What if everything we know is slightly off? We're not here to hand you truth, wrapped in certainty, only to spark thought, entertain the mind, and maybe raise an eyebrow or two. So tune in, enjoy the ride, and remember, take everything with a grain of salt, preferably the size of a small asteroid.
Tonight, we look up, not metaphorically, but literally, because for decades, objects have been seen in the sky, moving in ways that defy explanation, and leaving behind more questions than answers. So here's where we begin. Was Project Blue Book a genuine investigation into the unknown, or a carefully managed explanation for what couldn't be explained? Dr. X, what was Project Blue Book?
Officially, it was the US Air Force's program to investigate unidentified flying objects between 1952 and 1969. Its stated goals were simple: determine if UFOs posed a threat and analyze them scientifically. But like many programs of its kind, what it said was doing and what it achieved may not fully align.
So was it real science or controlled narrative, Doc?
Both, Alex. Blue Book investigated over 12,000 sightings. The majority were explained: weather balloons, aircraft, atmospheric phenomena. But a small percentage remained unexplained. And that's where things become interesting.
Because unexplained doesn't automatically mean extraterrestrial.
Correct, Alex. But it does mean incomplete understanding. And institutions tend to prefer conclusions over open ended questions.
Let's talk about those unexplained cases. What made them different?
Consistency, multiple witnesses, radar confirmation, objects performing maneuvers beyond known aircraft capabilities of the time, sudden acceleration, silent hovering, sharp directional changes.
So not just lights in the sky, but tracked observed events, Doc? Your comment, and after Titus has some comments.
Exactly.
To ground that, some Blue Book cases like the 1952 Washington, D.C. sightings involve both radar and visual confirmation. However, explanations such as temperature inversions were later proposed, though not universally accepted.
So again, Doc, we're in that familiar space, explained, but not fully convincing to everyone.
Yes, and Blue Book ultimately concluded that UFOs were not a threat and showed no evidence of extraterrestrial origin, which sounds definitive until you look at the unresolved cases they couldn't explain, Alex.
So how do you close a program, Doc, when not all questions are answered?
You redefine success. If the goal, Alex, shifts from understanding everything to reducing public concern, then uncertainty becomes acceptable.
That's a subtle distinction, Dr. X.
But an important one, Alex.
Doc, do you think Blue Book was ever close to discovering something truly unknown?
I think they encountered phenomena they couldn't fully categorize. Whether that points to advanced technology, misidentified natural events, or something else entirely remains open.
So not confirmation, but confrontation with the limits of knowledge, Doc.
Exactly.
And that's still relevant today. Modern UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, reports show similar patterns: advanced movement, multiple sensors, and incomplete explanations.
So Blue Book didn't end the conversation, it just paused it.
Or moved it out of public view.
That seems to be a recurring theme. Thousands of sightings, hundreds explained, a handful still sitting in that uncomfortable space between known and unknown. So the question remains, Were those final cases simply mysteries waiting for better science, or glimpses of something we're not yet equipped to understand? Maybe the sky hasn't been hiding answers, just reminding us how much we don't know. As we close tonight's conversation, what remains isn't a conclusion, but a tension. Project Blue Book set out to bring clarity to the unknown, reviewing thousands of sightings, offering explanations where it could, and ultimately assuring the public that there was no immediate threat, no confirmed evidence of extraterrestrial origin. On paper, it was a success. But beneath those conclusions sits something less resolved. Because, while most cases were explained, weather, aircraft, atmospheric effects, a small number resisted easy answers. These were not fleeting lights or distant shapes, but events marked by consistency. Multiple witnesses, radar confirmation, and movement beyond the known limits of the time. And that leaves us with a subtle but important distinction. Blue Book may have closed its investigations, but it didn't close the question. Instead, it shifted the narrative, from fully understanding the unknown to managing how the unknown is perceived. Today, modern UAP reports echo those same patterns: advanced maneuvers, multi-sensor tracking, and once again, explanations that feel partial, not final. So perhaps the real legacy of Project Blue Book isn't what it proved, but what it revealed about the limits of certainty. A reminder that some mysteries aren't solved, they're deferred, and that the sky above us hasn't necessarily been hiding answers, only reflecting how much we still have to learn.
This has been Akashic Echoes. Stay curious, stay aware, and remember, take everything with a grain of salt, preferably the size of a small asteroid.